Hello everybody, it's the LegoLink here. Welcome back to another video on the LegoLink channel. In today's LEGO review, we're taking a look at set 7666, the Hoth Rebel Base from LEGO Star Wars. This set released in 2007, and it has 548 pieces and 7 minifigures. This is based off Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and more specifically the opening scene with the battle on Hoth and the assault on the Rebel base there. So we get like an X-Wing in this set, I mean not an X-Wing, a Snowspeeder, and then a bit of the base. And as you can see in the corner, we do have a logo that's representing the 30th anniversary of Star Wars, which is when the set released in 2007, which was the 30th anniversary of the original Star Wars movie. There's actually 8 minifigures, by the way. I might have said 7, but there's technically 8 if you include that droid in the corner. This set is about $100 used, $220 new, and only retailed for $50 back in the day, which seems like an amazing deal for this set. Getting an X-Wing, pretty much like 8 minifigures as well. A set like this wouldn't go for like $50 today, it'd probably be more around $90. And yeah, the box art just looks really cool, and it's just a really big box overall. The back shows some play features and features of the set, along with some other 2007 sets. I have taken a look at that Clone Trooper battle pack before, so check that review out if you haven't already. So let's open the box up and get everything out that's inside. So the set has no numbered bags, which this period was kind of the time they started shifting over. It was more like 2010 they started adding these numbered bags, and you also get a sticker sheet, of course, then a pretty huge instruction manual. The back has a lot of the 2007 sets, a lot of cool sets on there. I also have taken a look at this ATS here as well, and then there's that Clone Trooper battle pack there. Ad for the complete saga. And then the instruction manual is just a pretty standard one. Something too interesting, just with that Darth Vader logo in the corner sometimes, and then just like a regular instruction manual. Nothing too special except for those ads for the other sets on the back. So the first 2 figures in the set that we'll take a look at are these Snow Troopers, and they are the exact same figure. So we'll only take a look at one, and you can just generalize it for both of them. So it's a pretty basic Snow Trooper figure using this nice helmet and backpack mold that they introduced in like 2003. And it looks pretty good, still looks good to this day, I think. And then of course underneath is just a black head, so it shows the visor there. There's a little bit of torso detailing on the torso, having like the armor and the belt there. They come with a gun as well. And I believe it's the first version of the Snow Troopers before they switched to the more modern ones to have light bluish gray hips instead of the old gray. So that's pretty interesting detail and fact from this set. We also get some Rebel Troopers, and we also get 2 of those. So it's nice to have like multiple of these figures to have like a nice little army. But this may look similar to some other Rebel Troopers and other sets you've seen. This one's actually exclusive, and it's because of the goggles. It's pretty much the only part. The other ones have like the newer mold for the goggles that they use after this for like Hoth Troopers. These ones just use white goggles that use a piece introduced like a while back. I think Anakin, when he first came in that pod racing set, had that goggle piece. So still looks fine, but I think the newer piece is definitely more accurate. They include a white backpack, tan torso with some nice jacket printing there, a gun as well, and then the same legs as the Snow Trooper. It's pretty nice to get some of these guys in the set. We get Luke Skywalker in his pilot uniform. So it's pretty basic uniform with just some torso printing there, having like that bib and then like that life support vest thing. He also comes with a blue lightsaber. The hilt isn't even like colored though, so it just feels a little plain. The face is pretty basic, just a normal Luke face from this era, and then the helmet has the Rebel insignia on both sides, and then like that caution tape thing up right there, and then a little line through the middle. So it looks pretty nice, and it's cool to get him in this set. I also get Luke's co-pilot, Dak Walter, and it's pretty much the same figure as Luke, having the same torso and legs. Then he says the basic smile face that the Rebel troopers have, and his helmet just has 2 blue Rebel insignia on it, nothing besides that. So it's cool to have him though. As we'll see, there's a Snowspeeder, and we can put both these guys in there. And then finally, probably the best figure in this set, in my opinion, is K-3PO. It's basically a white C-3PO. So the torso has like that C-3PO typical printing with 2 red dots there. There's also some back printing as well. Then we get the C-3PO head in white and just plain white legs. I always like getting these variants, different colors of the protocol droids in Star Wars sets, like the silver one and the red one from the other Hoth base. And I hope to see some more different colors in the future. So technically the 8th figure in the set is this probe droid, if you want to count it as that, but it's more of a build, and it's a pretty nice one. So we have a little stand here with a white plate as like the snow, and then just a clear translucent piece to make it look like it's floating. And then it has some arms on the side here, which are like the arms it uses or the legs that you can see like drop down. And then we have like some orange things for like the eyes, and then the same one with black, and it just has like a nice little round look there. And of course we have like a dish on top with this little lever piece here. So it's a nice build for nice build for this droid, which I'm blanking on right now. Did I call protocol droid before? The probe droid, almost forgot, but it's a pretty nice build. So the snowtroopers get a little mounted gun here. So we have like a little plate at the bottom which has some stability for this, and then we have levers acting as the legs. And then the main gun itself, we have like just a big body with some black pieces there, and like an orange one in the back. Then we actually have a glass cup piece used for the gun, which is interesting. And we also have this unique piece on the side as well. And then we have the lightsaber blades, but they're held in by these rail pieces, and they can act like the bullets, so you can kind of like push them out to shoot, or you can put it in there, whatever you want. It's kind of like a storage rack, but yeah, they fall easily, which is kind of annoying sometimes. So the set also comes with one of those turrets that are used on the Battle of Hoth. So the main base is these big castle wall pieces in gray, and then there's an opening at the back, so if you want to put a figure inside, you could. Then the top piece can rotate all the way around 360. And it uses these dish pieces, which I haven't really seen in much sets. They have like these little holes on the sides. They're like a little bit bigger than normal like dish pieces, so it's interesting. But yeah, we have some nice rounding going around. Just don't really like those gaps that are there. And of course on top we have like a gray piece. Then we have also the main turret, which uses one of these staircase holder pieces as like the long thing. And then you can see that there's the lightsaber blade, so if you push out or push these gray nozzles on the side, it should shoot out the lightsaber piece, and actually shoots out pretty far. So if you get it in like all the way, so yeah, it's like a early flick fire missile, like, or spring load shooter. But again, these lightsaber pieces, if you can see, it's kind of hard, but maybe if I take the top off, you can see this better. So basically, these go through these rail pieces again, and then the things on the side are connected to these little axles, and then there's a cheese slope piece there, so basically it just squeezes and then pushes out this with some force. So it's a nice little feature there, and it works pretty well actually. It's just, again, these things do tend to fall easily. They don't really stay in there that well. So on top of all that stuff we just looked at, we also have a full-on Snowspeeder in the set, and there's still more after this. They pack so much stuff in a set. just amazing. And then nowadays you won't even see it. It would just get a Snowspeeder for like $40. It's a pretty basic, kind of dumbed down one since it is unlike this bigger set, but it still looks pretty decent. So the middle, we have, of course, a sticker here for like some detailing, and then we have the main cockpit area. So both the back and front will fold up, but you also can just fold up the front itself. But yeah, you can do this so you can easily get the 2 pilots in. We also have a sticker there for the controls showing like an AT-AT. But yeah, there's just some seats here, plenty of room to put the 2 pilots in and have back and front. And then at the back here we have some nice detailing for like the exhaust things. And then we also get this little axle here that you can roll and is attached to this little hook. So if you wanted to, you can unravel it and you could pretend like you're towing the X-Wing or like putting the string around the X-Wing. So yeah, it's a neat little feature there. And then you can just roll it back up whenever you're done with the playing around with the string. But yeah, the wings have some nice shaping here using these wedge pieces. We have guns here at the front that connect to this area, and then it connects to this like big engine part here. It kind of rotates actually as well. And you can also lift up the flap here to see like the axle inside. You also can take the piece off here to reveal a sticker underneath showing like the engine there. And this also coincides with a feature we'll take a look at in a second. But yeah, the other side is pretty much the same, but there's just a sticker here instead. And then you can just take this off again as well and easily put it back on. Underneath you can see how the wings are slanted just using these slope pieces. And we also have this part at the bottom that kind of sticks out, which allows it to connect to a landing area, which we'll see later on. But yeah, come inside with the Snowspeeder, we get a little crane here. It's pretty basic. It's a nice little piece that has like 4 legs on each side using slopes, and then a chair at the back here. And I like how they use like the tire rim piece to go around the chair. We have a lever here, and then we just have this little Technic thing that goes back, or you can move it down and up. And then this red piece, you just take your Snowspeeder, connect the red piece to the top of this engine thing here, and then you can take it off and act like you have to service the engine. So yeah, it's like you're taking apart the Snowspeeder, fixing it, maintenance, all that. So it's pretty nice. I like when the sets have that sort of feature to like fix and move around and break down the ships. But yeah, here is the base itself. It's not much since, again, most of the pieces go to the other stuff in the set. But it is pretty long when you have the sides out all the way. They're on hinges, so you can either have them in like a straight line, diagonal a little bit, or you can put them so they're all the way inside, folded up like that, which I'll just do so it's easier to see. But yeah, we have some nice little soaping and stuff outside for this door. I kind of like how it's like a circular showing of the door using all those soap pieces. We also have these orange pieces here which cover up some axles to open the door. And I really like these rocky pieces on the side. They appear in a few sets, but specifically I think these marbled white and blue ones only appear in this set. They're really cool design there. They look interesting. They just feel unique, and it gives a nice aesthetic. And then the door uses a lot of gray pieces and also these grooved ones in between just to add some texture. And basically you rotate these 2 axles on the side, and then the door will open in a nice way if this piece wants to stay down. But I don't know why this one wants to go up. But yeah, they go out and then they kind of get stopped by these orange pieces here. And when we look at the back, you can see easier. So yeah, let's go and see the mechanic and see how this door system works. So yeah, these doors are on rails basically. You can see the rail connectors there, and then the rail pieces are hidden right here. You basically spin this axle, and then these grooves on top spin with it, and the door will continue all the way down until this orange piece up here hits the axle here, and it can't go out anymore. So it just gets stuck, and it just makes it so the door doesn't just fall out. And then the other side is very much the same. I don't know why it keeps wanting to go up when I pull it out, but it'll get stopped, and now the door is fully open. And then you just go the other way to close it. It's pretty satisfying, works pretty well, and you can just capture that scene when they like close the door, when they realize Luke's outside and they can't really do anything about it. But yeah, one of the hinged areas on the side has a little part of the inside, so we have just a tool rack here with like an ice pick and this weird other piece. And then we have like one of those control areas, and this part actually kind of like folds out if you want to have easier access. But we have some nice stickers on there, just having some lines and stuff. Sticker is well down here for the control panel, and there's also a unique one on the other side there. And then the other part, we have this rotating area, which if you take your Snowspeeder and that little part that sticks out, it should perfectly kind of like sit in here. It won't like fully stick in, so you can easily take it out, but it'll sit in there, and you can like use the crane to service it, and you also can rotate it around as well. So pretty neat. So overall, this is a pretty good set. I think there's just so much included for such a low piece count as well, but they still managed to get a lot in there, and it was only like $50 as well back in the day. It's just a great value set. You get a Snowspeeder, a tower, pro droid, a crane, and then that opening door as well. I will admit, if you take everything away from the base, it does feel a little empty there. There's not much interior and stuff, but it's still great. And the figure selection is decent. Some of the figures are okay, and some are just for army building, and then the protocol droid is pretty fun though. So I think I give this set a 9 out of 10. It's pretty fun. I recommend it. Definitely a great underrated set. I don't think many people talk about it, but I like it a lot. And I was just surprised at how much stuff they include in this set. There's just so many great side builds, and like we have full Snowspeeder and all that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I will see you guys in another video. Like and subscribe, and goodbye.